Willie Howard Mays Jr., born May 6, 1931, nicknamed the Say Hey Kid, was an American professional baseball center fielder who played 23 seasons in Major League Baseball, MLB. Regarded as one of the greatest players ever, Mays ranks second behind only Babe Ruth on most all-time lists, including those of the Sporting News and ESPN. Mays played in the National League, NL, between 1951 and 1973 for the New York/San Francisco Giants and New York Mets. Mays had an estimated net worth of $10 million at the time of his death. Mays died on June 18, 2024. Early life. Willie Howard Mays Jr. was born on May 6, 1931, in Westfield, Alabama, a primarily black company town near Fairfield. His father, Cat Mays, was a talented baseball player with the black team at the local iron plant. Annie Satterwhite, his mother, was a gifted high school basketball and track star. To his family and close friends, and later to his teammates, Mays was affectionately referred to as Buck. His parents never married and separated when Mays was 3. His father raised him and 2 aunts, Sarah and Ernestine. Sarah brought young Willie to an African Methodist Episcopal church every Sunday. Cat Mays worked as a railway porter and later at the steel mills in Westfield. Cat exposed Willie to baseball at an early age, playing catch with him at 5 and allowing him to sit on the bench with his Birmingham Industrial League team at 10. His favorite baseball player growing up was Joe DiMaggio. Other favorites were Ted Williams and Stan Musial. Mays played several sports at Fairfield Industrial High School. On the basketball team, he led players at all black high schools in Jefferson County in scoring. Mays played quarterback, fullback, and punter for the football team. Though he turned 18 in 1949, Mays did not graduate from Fairfield until 1950, which journalist Alan Barr calls a minor mystery in Willie's life. Personal life and house. Mays became the 3rd husband of Marguerite Wendell Chapman in 1956. The couple adopted a 5-day-old baby named Michael in 1959. They separated in 1962 and divorced in 1963, with Marguerite taking Michael for the majority of the time. 8 years later, Mays married May Louise Allen, a child welfare worker in San Francisco. Wilt Chamberlain had given Mays her phone number in 1961, and they dated off and on the next several years. In 1997, she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Mays cared for her until her death on April 19, 2013. Mays was the godfather of Barry Bonds, whose father, Bobby Bonds, was a friend of his when they were Giants teammates. Glaucoma forced Mays to stop driving a car and playing golf after 2005. In 2018, blind sports writer Ed Lucas wrote that Mays had told him a few years ago that he had actually gone blind. However, James S. Hirsch wrote in the New York Times in 2021 on the occasion of his 90th birthday that his vision was merely compromised by glaucoma and that he was still able to watch games on television, albeit with difficulty. For many years, Willie has lived in a 5,000-square-foot home in the extremely upscale neighborhood of Atherton, California. It's unclear exactly when or how much he paid for the home, but today it is worth at least $7 million. Death. Mays died heart failure at a care home in Palo Alto, California on June 18, 2024. He was 93. The day before, he had released his final public statement when he said he chose to stay in California and not attend the MLB at Rickwood Field game between the Giants and Cardinals later that week on June 20th. Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, released the following statement after Mays' death was announced by the San Francisco Giants. All of Major League Baseball is in mourning today as we are gathered at the very ballpark where a career and a legacy like no other began. Willie Mays took his all-around brilliance from the Birmingham Black Barons of the Negro American League to the historic Giants franchise. From coast to coast in New York and San Francisco, Willie inspired generations of players and fans as the game grew and truly earned its place as our national pastime. Also paying tribute to Mays were former President Barack Obama, San Francisco Mayor London Breed, and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Career. Born in Westfield, Alabama, Mays was an all-around athlete. He joined the Birmingham Black Barons of the Negro American League in 1948, playing with them until the Giants signed him upon his graduation from high school in 1950. He debuted in MLB with the Giants and won the Rookie of the Year award in 1951 after hitting 20 home runs to help the Giants win their first pennant in 14 years. In 1954, he won the NL Most Valuable Player (MVP) award, leading the Giants to their last World Series title before their move to the West Coast. His over-the-shoulder catch in Game 1 of the 1954 World Series is one of the most famous baseball plays of all time. After the Giants moved to San Francisco, Mays went on to win another MVP award in 1965 and also led the Giants to the 1962 World Series, this time losing to the New York Yankees. He ended his career with a return to New York after a mid-season trade to the New York Mets in 1972, retiring after the team's trip to the 1973 World Series. He served as a coach for the Mets for the rest of the decade and later rejoined the Giants as a special assistant to the president and general manager. A 24-time All-Star, this tied him for the second most in history. He led the NL in home runs 4 times and in slugging percentage 5 times while batting over .300 and posting 100 runs batted in, RBIs, 10 times each. Mays was also at the forefront of a resurgence of speed as an offensive weapon in the 1950s, leading the league in stolen bases 4 times, triples 3 times, and runs twice. His 179 steals during the decade topped the major leagues. He was the first NL player to hit 30 home runs and steal 30 bases in the same season, the first player in history to reach both 300 home runs and 300 stolen bases, and the second player and the first right-handed hitter to hit 600 home runs. Mays also set standards for defensive brilliance, winning 12 consecutive Gold Glove awards after their creation in 1957, still a record for outfielders. He led NL center fielders in double plays 5 times and assists 3 times. A classic example of a 5-tool player, Mays finished his career with a batting average of .302. At the time of his retirement, he held the NL record for career runs scored, 2,062, and ranked second in league history behind Stan Musial in games played, 2,992, third in home runs, 660, at-bats, 10,881, runs batted in, 1,903, total bases, 6,066, extra base hits, 1,323, and walks, 1,464, fourth in hits, 3,293, fifth in slugging percentage, .557, and eighth in doubles, 523. His 140 triples ranked fourth among players active after 1945. He holds major league records for games as a center fielder, 2,829, putouts as an outfielder, 7,095, and extra inning home runs, 22. And ended his career behind only Ty Cobb in total games as an outfielder, 2,842, ranking 7th in assists, 188, and 3rd in double plays, 59, in center field. Mays was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1979 in his first year of eligibility and was named to the Major League Baseball All-Century Team in 1999. Mays was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2015. Rest in peace, Willie Howard Mays. You may have gone, but you will never be forgotten. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe, like, and share.